Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon, and he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Here's McKinnon, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Hampton, open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They run it with McKinnon. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Hampton. But it's brought in by Washington. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little down on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
McKinnon. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Hampton. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, and maybe they got fooled and thought, oh, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Go, 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 run, run, run! What you got? Huh? What you got? Huh? Ooh! Let's go, D, let's go, D! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Tackle by Jordan Willis.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hampton. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first-quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense, everybody wants a piece of that pie.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Ross on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there for the Bengals. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Gone, 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 gone.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game Head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And the Steelers set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Hampton, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there. And now it's 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Hampton. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Aaron Donald in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, Hampton. Airing it out deep for Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, we got 4 down. Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Hampton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Hampton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Dumps it off to Mixon. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now back to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on 2nd down. Hampton. Smith catches left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Hampton. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin with a run by Mixon. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A handoff to Mixon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Open man is lost, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he gets this in the hands of Mixon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gregory. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it will be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Looking to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hampton. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Davis with it left side. They can't tackle it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. They'll look to throw here. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ohio! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Hampton got his man complete over the middle. That's Moreno. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Runs through the contact. And it winds up a terrific return, but markers are down. And this is going to come all the way back. The holding penalty and negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. A give. This is Chubb. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Caught Eifert over the middle. And now running right through it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll drop the throw, and that is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 19. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he's got another field goal, his 4th now in the game. He's making it look easy out there.
He certainly is, and they're always aiming for a swing of the leg that repeats under pressure, right? So nothing's different. He's got that right now because confidence is breeding confidence.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Hampton throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now McKinnon. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Hampton. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. He'll look to throw. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit, Detroit.
Back to throw here. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Gone.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the 1st down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll throw again from their own end zone. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And that one results in 35 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jordan Willis. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Looking to throw on second down. Hampton. His throw incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And the Steelers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 19. Back to throw. Hampton. And this is going to be incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
A run for Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught at the 10. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
No, check, Patriot! Patriot!
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these 2 teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Cincinnati, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.